Welcome to Remain Calm and Keep Stitching. This is my very first Flosstube, and this weekend was my very first Jingle Ball. So I have Jingle Ball things that I have to show you, and I have some whips, I have finishes, I have some fully finished, and I have plans. And I hope that you enjoy them. First of all, let me show you. This is the pattern. It's Merry Little Christmas. Sorry. And it comes from a cross stitch Christmas, which I love this book. When I bought it, I didn't know what all the inside patterns were going to be like, but this is the front one, and this is the one that caught me, and I bought it for this pattern. And when I got it, I fell in love with every pattern inside. And I do have two starts from there, and darned if I could find the other one to show you. So this isn't very much of the start. The other one has a lot more on it. This is pretty close to the called for colors. I have notes, okay, I admit it. And it's on 14 count hunter green Ada. They called for navy blue, but navy blue is very dark for tired eyes. And I decided I already had the green, I was going to use the green. And it finishes up at 7 5/8 by 9 5/8. And I'm hoping with the other one, maybe with this one, I don't know. The other one's on brown fabric. One of them I'd like to finish on this plate. And of course, it'll be a lot smaller than that. You can see a lot more of the plate. I have to see how it looks. I don't know. I just saw the plate in the store in Hobby Lobby, and I had to have it. So, well, why not? Everything was on sale. I mean, I like sale. I know I buy too much. I know. But I do have this one to show you. Oh, I didn't realize that was there. This is Wonderland Yule, and it's from Needle's Notion. And actually, I originally thought maybe it was two trees, but it's not two trees, it's front and back. So this whole thing is nicely colored. Covered, not colored. Well, it is nicely colored. It's got good colors on it. Two of the colors are, we have, of course, come here, you. We have Cherry Wine Sampler Threads, Gentle Art Sampler Threads, and we have Bayberry. And that is also Gentle Arts, but that is Shaker, Simply Shaker. And they are on 14 count vintage mocha. Let's see. Oh, that's what I wanted to tell you about this. My little needle minder. I got this in the mail from a group that, it's time of year, everybody asks you for donations. And this was included. And I was thinking, why? It's not money. It's not usable for anything. It's not a button. What would I do with it? So as I was thinking about it, I thought, well, needle minder. I have the glue, I have the magnets, and so I put on the glue and the magnet, and I have my needle minder. So I'm glad it didn't go to waste because, they spend money on these things, and then what do you do with them? I had a thing in the mail from somebody, and they sent me 3 calendars. Was it 2 calendars, a planner, and then one of those little book calendars that you could carry in your purse. I don't need 4 calendars, plus a certificate so that I can hang it up on my wall. Everybody know I donated it to them. And I appreciate the effort, I really do. But what do you do with all this stuff, So I have started this, as you can see. You have the little bird. I started the Merry Christmas. So it's coming along. It's an easy stitch. It's a fun stitch. I'm really enjoying it. So I don't think I told you about me. It's not a lot to tell. But I'm a mom, a grandma, a great grandma, retired nurse. I'm coming to you from Phoenix, and it's chilly out here. I know you don't think so if you're up north. I know, but it's 40 degrees at night, and that's chilly, especially it really is a dry heat. So without the humidity, 40 degrees does feel a little cooler than what you think. And okay, I know the 60s is not cold. There's a whole bunch of people in Minnesota laughing at me right now, but it's chilly. Like I said, I came from the Northeast. I know what cold is. I know what it is to shovel 3, 4 feet of snow to make a driveway usable. I get all that. That's why I moved here. So you have my sympathy, but I'm not helping you shovel. I'm sorry. I'm not doing it. Also, these are beads from Mill Hill. They are beads 03050, and they go with the Yule, the woodland Yule. They just arrived. I thought I didn't order them. I do have other whips. I have a lot of whips, but I didn't bring them all out because I thought a lot of them are for Halloween. But I do have other whips that I can show. I don't know if you call them whips. Say this, the Pouty Owl from Stony Creek. I'm gonna have to see if that writing is right or wrong when it's posted. I hope it is. I hope it's right. Anyway, I started this. I finished it in a week. I just did it in November. It's on 14 count white 8, and I did do it with 3 strands. And the coverage comes out really good with 3 strands. The only thing that I changed was it was supposed to be weak dye work on the dark brown on his wings. And instead of using the weak dye work, which I don't normally have, I have it for one piece, and I wasn't going to pull it from that. I just mixed 2 darks and 1 light. And this and his little bauble, I used the Rainbow Gallery white fluffy stuff. And I thought it came out really good. It's not the easiest thing to stitch with because it's so fluffy, it hides the holes. So when you've got a bunch there and you're trying to find where that next one is, you kind of have to look for it. And on the corner here, he's supposed to have a little button that's holly and berries. And problem with that is it's very, very tiny. So I kept it in its little cellophane bag, and I kept that in the big bag where this all was. When I went to get it, it wasn't there. I don't know where it went. I've only stitched on this for a week and only in the bedroom because that's where the light's the best. And it's gone. So it's been reordered. And then I will fix it. And hopefully I will have it done the next time I do a video, which I hope to be next week. Depends how well I do with this one. If I manage to upload it and maybe get the words right. And this is the ornament finishing kit that I bought. And I'll finish it with that. It comes with the mounting board and finishing instructions, the whole bit, the ribbon, all of it right there. So that was kind of a splurge because I have stuff I can use to finish, and I decided I was going to try and do it that way, you know. So there's our little pouty owl. Now this one. Now this might be hard to see. This is from the Cross Stitch magazine, just Cross Stitch. And it is Christmas Ornaments 2023. And it is called something or other. Oh dear, I didn't save the page. What is wrong with you? Luckily, it was opened a lot. Polar Night Sighting, and it was designed by L. Noonan of Stitch Sprout. And the design size is 3.5 by 3 1/8. And this is on 18 count, and this is natural because I didn't have what she said. So there is Polar Night Sighting. And I'm going to finish it up as an ornament. And it will be a gift for my son for Christmas. The thing is, it did show DMC floss, but it also shows Sullivan's. And I always wanted to try Sullivan's, so I decided, okay, it's a small piece. I can go ahead and buy the extra floss because I don't need extra floss, believe me. We'll go over that in another video. I'll show you how I do it. I haven't seen anybody else do it my way. It's probably not the way anybody else wants to do it. It's not going to change your life. Made mine easier, but that's a different video. So this is Sullivan's called for. And the little beads that are on it, if you can see them, I don't know, maybe little beads, there's a little bead right there. They are crystal aqua Mill Hill seed beads. And I'm going to do my darndest to get this finished this week too. I don't have a finishing kit for it. I've been kind of afraid to do it because I don't want to wreck it. I, I I could probably make another one between now and Christmas if I did wreck this, but I could probably hurt myself too. I did hurt myself once. No, it's quite all right. You needn't bark. I've been stitching for about 3 years, and I had about a 7 month break in it. Rue, it's fine, hun. Everything's good. I had about a 7 month break of stitching because in June of a year and a half ago, I think it was, my wrist started to hurt badly. All of a sudden, I picked up a pan, and all of a sudden, pain. And so I put a brace on it, and about 4 weeks later, it wasn't better. So I thought, well, maybe I should go to the doctor. The only worse person to get to go to a doctor than a man is a nurse. So anyhow, I went. She had no clue what was wrong. She said, well, we're for another 3 or 4 weeks, and we'll see if maybe you should go to a specialist. So 4 weeks later, 5 weeks later, I went to a specialist. And well, I told her, and then it was another week before I went to the specialist. And as soon as I said to him, it hurts right here, he just smiled. He knew what it was. It was an overuse injury. And I had been stitching like crazy, trying to get something done for December and January, and then trying to get back to all the other stuff I wanted to do. And that's what happened. And the thing was, I was right to wear the brace, but I was wrong to take it off because, oh, it's hot, or oh, I don't feel like wearing it, or whatever. It had to stay on solid. So luckily, by that time, I had two braces, so I could wear one in the shower and then put the dry one on, and that's how that went. So it was actually from June, near the end of June until mid-October that I couldn't stitch, and by then I kind of lost my mojo. And then I saw somebody in January, and I want to do that again. So I got back to it. All of my stuff is Ada. Some of it's 14 count, some of it's 16, some of it's 18 count. I like the 16 and 18 count because you get good coverage, but the 14 count, I have discovered, if you use 3 strands, it comes out great. And there was a designer of a pattern that I have, and she always stitches with 3. Now, I don't know if she always uses 14 count or if she uses other counts, but she always stitches with 3. And I thought, well, then I'm not wrong. You can stitch with 3 strands if you want to. So that's what I'm trying to remind myself to do. Sometimes I forget, but that is what I try to do. So on that, this one for my son, this is the fabric I want to use to back it. Okay, it's got the same bluey colors and the pretty houses, and I'm hoping I can fit it so that it'll look, you know, I've been a quilter, so I know how to fussy cut. Now this is Gingy's house, and I made this quite a while ago. Right, using my hair. Um, Now as far as my finishing goes, it's not great. When I made this, I didn't really know how to finish. I knew what I had seen in some places, but I didn't really know how to do it. So I just did it my way. And it's for me. It's not going anywhere. And it's good enough. It hangs in the kitchen. It's cute. Uh, Even the fabric on the back is upside down. This comes from Shannon Christine Designs, and it's still available. It's $8 for the pattern. It's a full cross stitch. And if you want to put beads or if you want to do some back stitching, you can. I think it says minimal back stitching, but I didn't do any back stitching. It looks fine. It doesn't have that back stitching. And this I bought at Michael's, and it was sitting in the drawer, and I happened to see it, and I thought, oh, I could use that for this. So my finishing has gotten better, which I can show you. Not on this one. I shouldn't say that. It's gotten better, even on this one. Um, it's not great though, but I do think he's absolutely adorable. And he is called Penguin Greetings, and that's that's him. And the designer is Rona Nori, and this comes from the 2021 cross stitch, just cross stitch holiday issue. And this finishes up at 3 1/8 by 2 3/4. It uses DMC or Sullivan's. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 11 colors. And really, if you don't have the colors, use something else. I bought the letters at Michael's, and I already had. I I don't know if I bought this cord at Michael's or if I already had it. I did buy some cord at Michael's, so you can get cord there. Prices were ridiculous though, and again, not great on the finishings. I did it backwards, but I love penguins, and it also I'm happy to keep it. It was going to be a gift, but I decided the finishing wasn't good enough, and I'm happy to have it because a couple of years ago, a few years ago, my granddaughter and I went to the aquarium and we did the penguin experience. So we were petting penguins and they were playing, and it was fun. It was a good experience. It was a happy memory. So when I look at this, I think of us doing that. And I hung it on the tree because, first of all, it's supposed to hang on the tree. And second of all, I don't have too much to put on the tree. It's the first year I'm doing the tree. So then I have this. Now, this is a quiet piece. I have something written down here for it. I did that. Okay, this is called The Fireplace, and it comes from the Just Cross Stitch magazine. I have the magazine somewhere. I lost it. It's here. I never took it out of the house. I even had the lady at 123 Stitch looking for this pattern because if you put in a quiet place, this is the one that comes up. Something else comes up, and it's not it. This is the one with the birds and the bird feeder. And the fabric I use is 18 count ice blue. And you're supposed to put on a charm, but I just didn't think I needed it. And I think it's Helen D made this. I could be wrong. Somebody made it. And anyway, this is a hanging ornament. And I've gotten better. I put my Merry Christmas on there and the date. It's right side up. The siding's not too bad. Fancy fabric. And I will mention now, anything I've learned about finishing, I have watched Vonna Pfeiffer and I have watched Helen D. And I've learned from both of them. They both have a little bit different style. So it's been nice to watch both of them. So they get credit for anything I've learned. And on this, it has this nice redwood color here, but in the pattern they use the same color on the birds. And I didn't want my birds to match the bird feeder. That I've never seen a bird that looked like redwood. But I would assume that the pattern maybe had guidelines or something that she didn't want to use too many different colors. So I just changed it myself and I made him red and I adjusted the colors underneath him a little bit. And I made this one brown. So for me, they are a red and a brown, male and female cardinal. And this is going to go to my neighbor because she's really, really nice, really sweet lady. And she's very helpful to me because I actually have a very bad back, bad knees. Currently seeing the doctor. I can't be cured because it comes from arthritis, but I can be helped. Word to the wise, go to a specialist. Don't mess with regular doctors. No offense, but I've been in pain for like 6 years. I didn't have to be. So I'm just saying. Let's see. Okay. And then where's the other? Now this isn't Christmas, but this is the Arizona state flag. And it is cute embroidery by Kate. And I love postage stamps. And I intend to keep on doing postage stamps. I have a Christmas Santa face postage stamp. Had. And it was really cute too because I used that Rainbow Gallery fuzzy stuff on his beard and everything. And because it's a Christmas present for somebody back east, I had to mail it. so I can't show it to you. But it was cute. Honest, it was. It came out pretty good. This, what I did was, the only difference I made was the, I put metallic, like a bronze color, to represent copper. And the reason for that is that Arizona is the largest copper producing state in the country. And we're not known by that name. Of course, we're known as the Grand Canyon State. Um, the flag shows the setting sun because we're in the west, and this blue is, in real life, matches the blue in the American flag. And let's see, we were also known as the Valentine State because we were entered into the Union on February 14th when we joined. Now, I think that is about all I have to say about that. Let's see. This is only the second finish I ever did, but I didn't put any fancy cording around it or anything. I actually keep this on a magnet on the fridge because I'm just really happy with it. But at least, again, I did the writing right side up. No, I didn't do it upside down. Let's see, come on, get up there. And this is the actual pattern of it. And it's, like I said, it's cute embroidery by Kate. I don't know why my picture is fuzzy. At least on this side, it looks like it's fuzzy. It looks like there's a fog over there. So that's that pattern. And this is a fully finished. This is Bringing Home the Tree, and it's by Lori Holt. And it's still available, but it is older. I did it on 14 count white. Like I said, everything's on Ada. And I have reindeer on the back. And I used the call for colors, which I know I used the call for colors because I would never use pink. That's just wouldn't be something I would do. I don't like pink. So a weak shade of red. Get me in trouble with somebody. And then, oh, not surprising, Hocus Pocus. This is an old one too. This is the Stitcher hood. And it is also still available. And when I looked, it was on sale yesterday for $4.25. It's on 14 count. It's only got 4 colors. And it's 2.9 by 7.9 when it's finished. And like I said, this is an older one. I did that a while ago. I have no idea what the fabric is other than 14 count. Racing, aren't I? Okay. This is Christmas time. This was a mystery stitch along from Fat Quarter Shop. And it's still available. You can print it out. 7 colors. I did it on 14 count Ada. I backed it with Christmas bells. When I did it, I was doing it as stitch along. But, like I said, the whole pattern is there now. So if you're interested in doing that, apparently a lot of people are. There were a lot of people that seemed to be interested in it at that time when I was looking. Do I have any other Christmas? I don't think I have any other Christmas there. Okay. This one. This is Summer at the Shore. One of the things that I love, the reason I was drawn to it, when I was a young teenager, almost a teenager, we used to go to Florida for vacation. We'd spend about 2 weeks in November down there. Then we'd all come home in the cold weather and get sick. And this comes from Cottage Garden Samplings. And it's beautiful. It has beautiful colors. I've used I'm pretty sure, they're mostly the called for colors. It's his beak and the orange starfish that I kind of fudged a little bit because I have so much floss. I really do. And it is still available. And let's see. I saw it when I was looking to see if it was still available. I saw it on Cutie Pie Stitch and Sew, but I'm sure, there's other places where you can look and find it. When I was working with it, I had so much of this wing done and I had the tail done and it didn't look right. And I kept thinking, it's just not coming out right. It just doesn't match the pattern. So I took it all out, took the whole wing out. but I left the tail because I knew the tail was right. I could tell the way it was stitched. And then I was just kind of like, I don't want to do the wing again, not right now. So I'll do the lighthouse. So from about here, I stitched down on the lighthouse, and then I went over here, did the water, the piling, all this, came back, and it wasn't right. It I was off by about 2 stitches. So now I'm like, okay, what is wrong with it? Well, the whatever I did wrong, the tail wasn't lined up properly either. So the tail had to come out. And part of the lighthouse had to come out, and I had to move the door over. And I fixed everything. And I went back and I did that. And I went back and I did that. And I finally finished the whole thing. And I wasn't doing it as a stitch along or anything. But it just so happened that Laura from Stitching by the Shore was doing the same one. And she finished before me. But I finished this before I saw her finish. And she's got, I think it's the exact same frame. So we have the same picture, which is probably why I enjoy watching her because we have a lot of the same taste. She does like some things that I'm not interested in, but she loves lighthouses and the shore. She's over in Delaware. I was actually raised in New Jersey, so the ocean is kind of like part of us. And like I said, I like the seagull because it has memories of going to Florida with my parents. And I really enjoyed stitching it. I thought the water was going to drive me crazy, but it was easy and I really enjoyed it. I don't think I frogged anything in the water because when I made the mistake over here, I just had to add the water. So that just all came together really nicely for me. And that finishes up at 5 by 6.5 on 40 count. Mine is on 14 count and the frame is an 8 by 10. So what else do we have? Okay. I have watched Heidi from Stitching Down the Rabbit Hole. She's new. Uh, now she's maybe 4 or 5 videos at this point. I watched her first video, and she comes up with her piece, which she has finished, and shows it. Long Dog Samplers Ragnarok. And I just fell in love with it. I don't do samplers. I don't like samplers. So why I would want to do this, I don't know. I just fell in love with it. And then, of course, she said it was Ragnarok, and that's Norse mythology, and that's Vikings. And according to Ancestry, both their suggested ancestors and my DNA, I have Viking DNA. No, I am not singing opera. You don't want me to sing. This is the only pet I've ever had that doesn't leave the room when I sing. She probably thinks she needs to stay by me because there's something wrong. I had a cat that, as soon as I start to sing, he'd leave the room. Fine. Anyhow, this is, did I say Long Dog Samplers? It is 309 by 361 stitches, and it's on 14 count. It'll be 22 by plus by 25.79. I want to do it on an antique white because I have this 3750 DMC, and I think it would look very nice on an antique white. I just think it's like an old piece. I mean, Ragnarok is about the end of the world, and it's Norse mythology, so it's been around for a while. And I'm okay with it being about the end of the world because in the end of the world, there's a big fire, everything burns up, and then the floods come and clean everything away. And I have a fire extinguisher and I know how to swim, so I'm cool. I'm ready for whatever they throw at us. The problem is, I bought fabric and I was planning on using it for Ragnarok. And I wanted to get antique white, and this was listed as ecru or ivory. Now, I'm sure if you're out in the wild and you see an elephant and he's got these big tusks, they're probably yellow because I don't think they floss. So, you see what I did there? Um, but I didn't expect this. To me, this is not ivory and it's not ecru. It certainly doesn't match the ecru DMC that I have. And it is not antique white at all. It's nowhere near it. Now, I'm not really unhappy with the fabric because it's the perfect color for another pattern that I have. And I have a full coverage that I want to start in January. And now I have the fabric. I'm sorry about my voice. I'm not used to talking so long. So anyhow, it's a little stiff. It's DMC Charles Craft, but I think it'll be okay. I'm going to try for the big piece. I'm going to try washing it because it is a little stiff, but it's not horrible. I can work with it. I'm sure. The other piece, I did actually start that winter piece, and I just had to stop because I felt it was too stiff. And when I put it down the one time, I was going to set it on the floor while I was sitting there, whatever I was doing. It didn't go on the floor. It stood up. And I thought, it's really too stiff. I don't want to work with that. So I ended up cutting that up into smaller pieces. And in smaller pieces, it was doable. But when it's this big and your hoop's this big and you're trying to get in there, it just wasn't working. Now, the thing is, another reason I thought this would be good is because it's supposed to be softer than cotton needle. This is polyester. And this is folded over. This is how big this is. It's like 40 by 60. The other reason, hello, you there? The other reason I bought this is because this huge piece of fabric is $20. Fabric's expensive, especially when some pieces you want to do a really nice fancy piece. So I decided I'm going to give it a shot. It's not softer than all other Aida. You can get softer Aida. But for 20 bucks, I'll work with it and we'll see what happens. And I was thinking of getting the white one, but I think what I'm going to do with the Ragnarok is try to go with either find an antique white or a very, very, very pale gray. Because I really want to stay with the antiquish colors and see how that works out. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you. This is from Annabella's. Annabella in North Carolina. This is I don't know what you call it. It's not a box, but it's kind of like a box. And that's what it was. I didn't order the items, I ordered the package. And I wanted to see what it was because I'm like, when did I order this? What is this? I had just gotten an email that said if you didn't pay for it by Saturday, then you would be moved on to the next month, to the February box. And I thought, if that's what I think it is, I paid for it already. So I'm not going to pay her. And if I get the next box, then I get the next box. So I guess I paid her and I got this. So then I opened it up. This is it. It's not fancy, but those fancy boxes that they come in, I don't need one and I can't use it. So I'm fine with this. Now, this is turning cross stitch into home decor. This is called Skinny Mini. They're a new monthly series. And I don't know a whole lot about them because I actually put this back without going through everything because I want to kind of open it with you. So this is Elaine Forgy and Charlene Morris. They're the authors. And Annabelle has the copyright. They stitched it on 28 count Lugana, and the design area was 2.31 by 563. So that's nice. And there's about 10 colors on here. And it's a series. So this is the January one. So if you're interested, try Annabella's. I think it's annabellas.net. We'll find out. There's a card in here I didn't read. This is a technique booklet. They give you a whole technique booklet, and they tell you if you need additional fabrics or tapes, glues, whatever. um, all about making finishing fun. And it tells you for whatever to make these finishings, you would need floral wire and wire cutter, double-sided tape or hot glue, mounting board squares, and Bella boards. I don't know what Bella boards are. I never heard of them. And ribbons and bows. But you can buy Bella boards in their Etsy shop. So whatever they are. And then look at this. Isn't that adorable? I gotta show you this. If I can open it. It was open. I know it was because I did look at this. Candy. See, I didn't eat the candy. I saved the candy for you. It's absolutely adorable. Floss drops. Um, I don't know how to use floss drops. I've seen it explained, but I'm pattern dyslexic, and if I don't have a chance to try something, there's no way it's going in, and sometimes even if I try it, a day later I won't have any clue. But they're really cute pictures, so if I don't use them as floss drops, I'm going to find a use for them. I actually am. And look at this. This snowflake would work perfectly on that birdhouse. But it doesn't need it, although I might, because it is cute. Well, she's good to me. My neighbor, the one I'm going to give that birdhouse to. Yeah, if she's cleaning her patio, she'll clean my patio. And that's a little thing to her because she's already out there spraying. She just sprays. It's a big thing to me. So if you know somebody with a bad back, just something little for them. They'll appreciate it. And this is the fabric. Oh, this is a Bella bundle. I don't know what a Bella bundle is. What do you think a Bella bundle is? Looks like fabric. Can I get into it? This is fabric. This is nice. Looks like 18 count. Very soft. That's nice. That'd be great for hand stitching. I like to do in hand. And the reason I like the 14 count is because it's much easier to do in hand when you're doing the sewing stitch. So that's what I like. Nobody told me this was. Here we go. Now this. I was excited when I saw this. Stitch cards from Lori Holt. Be in my bonnet stitch cards, set C. And of course, they're from Fat Quarter Shop. And what we have is hot chocolate. And its stitch count is 34 by 34. If I do it on 14 count, I might be able to make it small enough that should look good on my little tree. And we have ice skate. I used to go ice skating all the time. I can remember, oh, my mother got so mad at me. There was a pond up near the college, but it was kind of a ride. And that was back in New Jersey, and it was cold. I mean, it was like maybe 5 degrees out. Came home from school. Mom, I want to go ice skating. No, it's too cold. I was a teenager, so we argued. She got mad and took me up there. And I skated for about an hour, and she came back and picked me up. But she was mad because I wanted to go out in that freezing cold. Yeah, I was cold for another hour after I got back home. It took a while to warm up. But I just loved ice skating so much. So much. And it was nice because it was a little pond. It was surrounded by trees. Nowadays, you'd have to be afraid to go there and be all by yourself. But not back then. It was wonderful. And so, ice skate. And that's going to finish at 2.5 by 2.5. And it's a adorable little snowman. I love snowmen. I love owls. I love birds. I love snowmen. I love trees. I don't like words. I don't like words and I don't like letters. Two of the things that contributed most heavily to my hurting my wrist was I was doing a Doctor Who piece, which is about 9 by 11, and every saying on that piece was in a different font. and some of them were horrible, difficult to do, not fun. And one of them was hard to read. But then I had it for about a year. Well, I had started it, and then my son who lives out here said, I like Doctor Who. So I was making the one for his brother back east. So, okay, fine, I'll make two of them, no big deal. Well, at that time, it didn't seem to be a big deal. But by the time I got done, it was a big deal. No, it's okay. It's okay. So I did it for about a year, and then I thought, I've got to get these done. And I just determined that summer that it was going to be done by December for Christmas for my son out here. It was going to be done by January for my son back east because that was his birthday. And I stitched and stitched and stitched and stitched and stitched. And I am traumatized. I have PTSD with letters. So our little snowman is 2.5 by 2.5 on 14 count Ada. And you could do it on 25 count Lugana. He'll come out just a little bit bigger, a tiny bit bigger. And then we have the warm hat. Just asked my son the other day if he has a warm hat. He said, I wear my hoodie because it's cold out here. No matter what you think in Minnesota. Stitch count, 14 count Ada, 2.5 by 2.5. Stitch count is 34 by 34. So that's easy. And what else is nice? What comes with all that, with those cards, is this. And these are DMC, all DMC colors. You see them? They have pretty colors. 309, 899, 4, 2. I never buy the low numbers. I think I have those too, but I always end up buying much higher numbers. Which is why I do my floss the way I do it, because I've noticed when you have a certain style, you like, for instance, you like the beach, you're going to be doing blue colors. And if you keep buying those patterns, you're going to keep needing those blue colors. And I don't kit for that reason. So this is Annabella's, and they're on Instagram, and it's annabellasshop@gmail.com, annabellas.net for their website, and their Etsy shop is etsy.com/shop/Annabella's shop. See, that's Annabella's. So I swear it's getting foggier. It's not foggy in the room. I wonder if it's the light because it's cloudy here today. So I think that's all I really have to show you right now. Um, I mentioned Heidi from Stitching Down the Rabbit Hole being an enabler. When I watched her second video, she talked about something she's planning for January. And oh, I know what I want to show you. Anyway, she talked about that she's planning for January. And I think the piece she's doing is called We the People. I don't know what's the name of the piece I'm doing. I ordered it. It's here somewhere. I kind of threw everything around trying to get ready for this. So I don't really know where anything is. And, trying to reach this. No, that's not the one. Or that. Um, anyway, this I have to show you. I forgot I had to show you this. What I want to tell you about. The Jingle Ball. I know I was talking about something else. Did I mention I'm ADHD? I kind of squirrel sometimes. Anyway, I went to the Jingle Ball first time. And if you have never gone, if you've been afraid to go, or you thought it was too expensive, you really need to try it out because it's $10 for a general admission ticket. That's all it is. $10 and you have 3 days admission. And it goes continuous. It's not like 9 to 5 or something. It's goes right on through, so that it's international, and people over in Europe can come and visit, and it you don't have to worry about it being closed. And you get the lobby, which tells you what's going on. You get the ballroom, which gives you entertainment. And there was cooking, there were recipes, there were Christmas stories, there was dancing, there was bad bad dad jokes. I can't think of everything they did. There's also meet and greet where the designers just come on and they talk and they do Q&A, and I think they do. Yeah, at least some of them did. And so you get to talk to people. And I did get to ask a couple questions of designers, and it was really interesting. It was fun. And you get to do the speed dating. Sorry, it's going. The speed dating is nice. And if you're afraid of speed dating, and I was, with the way it works, you just say that you want to join the session. And when you join the session, there's a button and it says, "Are you ready?" Then you hit I'm ready. And then it will connect you with someone. And when you're done with your speed dating, which is 5 minutes, it goes back to that where it says we can connect you with someone else. Are you ready? So if you want to take a break, calm down, get your thoughts together, go get a drink, whatever, then you hit I'm ready and you can go back. It's not where, oh my God, boom, 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 boom. It's not like that. It's really nice. And you're meeting nice people who are doing the same thing you're doing. And it really was fun. I only did 2 speed dating sessions. I wanted to do more, but on Sunday, my allergies, which are actually intolerances and sensitivities, they're not really allergies because of the biology of how they work. But you know, if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck. So I sat and watched all the meet and greets that were playing again on Sunday. And you can check YouTube and see if Lindy Stitches has a YouTube up there about the different things that were going on, because there was one. I don't know if it's still there. I think it's on YouTube. It looked like it was YouTube, but I clicked it from her email. And you can also get on their mailing list, and they have more coming up. There'll be another Jingle Ball December 5th, 6th, and 7th. So it's another year away. But in between, there's the Nash Stash, and there's a spring fling, there's a summer stitch of some kind, there's something in the fall, and then there's the Jingle Ball. So if you're interested in a virtual event, check out the Lindy Stitches website, and you know, as it gets closer, you get more information. Sign up for her newsletter. Uh, I had sent her an email asking her a question. She answered me right away, you know, like within 24 hours. I don't know what it was exactly. It might have been the same day. And very nice, you know. Steph is a very nice person. I keep calling her Beth. She reminds me of Beth from Little Women. I don't know why. It's just she is my impression of Beth from Little Women. If I was a producer, she'd have the part. She wouldn't even have to audition. It would be her. So anyhow, while I was at the Jingle Ball, they also have a shopping hall, and I did a little bit of shopping. I was somewhat controlled because I didn't buy everything I wanted. But I was introduced to Tiny Modernist, which is Cheryl McKinnon. And this is, what is it? The Nutcracker Tree. I have a paper for it. Where'd I put it? It's not here. It fell off, I guess. Anyway, this is a Nutcracker Tree. And I love this. I think it's beautiful. I have all but one of the flosses, and am going to order the bright fabric, which is Snow on Aqua by Fabric Flare. You can get it in linen or you can get it in Ada, uh, but it's notifying me right now. And the stitch count is 142 by 190, and it's just a back stitch and a cross stitch. So it's really easy. And I don't know why some people don't like back stitch. It's a simple thing to do. But it's just pretty. It's got the nutcracker on it and the mouse, all the creatures from the, well, characters from the nutcracker, the little ballerina, you know. So I just think that'll be fun. And then there is also this. Helen D showed this one today too. 4 3D houses. Like Cheryl did a class on how to finish these. What you had to do was get the kit and stitch all the sides. And then she did the class to show you how to put it up. But I didn't take the class because I didn't have all this done. There's no point in watch. If I just watch her, I'm not going to really know how to do it. So I decided that was what I would work on myself. She's got instructions in here for how to finish it. The whole thing is here. It's wonderful. And I have no doubt that I'm going to be able to finish that. And then we have this. And I think this one piece is the one where I'm so grateful that she is here at the Jingle Ball, or was here at the Jingle Ball, because I never would have seen this otherwise. And the thing is, I've been a quilter for so long, and the latest new thing with quilting is going modern. And it's modern has a lot of open spaces, and I don't like it. So this being called tiny modernist, I thought, well, is that going to be like that? Is it going to be, cubist and modern you know, but I happen to end up seeing this. This is Magic of Christmas. And 14 count would be 7.5 by 10 inches. Now, this is exclusive to the Jingle Ball. You can't go back and buy it now. It's done. It's possible that she'll bring it out next year and release it publicly, or maybe she'll choose to have it exclusive at the Jingle Ball again. So go to the Jingle Ball and get the pattern. Um, but on her website, she has a beautiful Christmas clock. It's a cuckoo clock. It was a stitch along, but if you go to her website, it's very easy. It comes right up to buy the whole pattern, and you can just do that. And it is gorgeous. If you go to a Etsy website, pay attention to what you're buying because it might say cuckoo clock 1, cuckoo clock 2. You need all 4 pieces in order to do the whole pattern. So just be aware of that. So if you see, oh wow, that's great, it's only $4 for the pattern. No, it's for something for one part of the pattern, and there's 4 parts. So hopefully I will be able to get the fabric and get that started soon. I hope too that the fabric comes out looking like this color because it's an absolutely gorgeous color. But that's how she did it, so that should come out just right. So that's the Jingle Ball. Definitely try the Jingle Ball. It was wonderful. Try the Spring Fling. Um, yeah, get into the chat rooms. They have a stitching room. I didn't do well with the stitching room. There was one stitching room. It was early in the morning, and there's only one person in it. And I thought, well, if there's only one person, then I have to talk to them. And it's not that I'm not friendly. Nobody who knows me is going to believe this, but I'm actually quite shy. It's just that I usually fake it. But when it's just 2 people, it's hard to fake it because you have to talk. So I thought, well, it's really early in the morning and I'm not fully awake and I haven't had my second cup of tea. So I want to go. And then there was another one that had 5 people in it, but 2 of them did not have their cameras or the microphones on. And I wasn't going to have mine on because I was starting with the allergy stuff then. And I thought, I don't feel like doing that, but I'd like to just be able to hear Stitch and hear people talking. And so I went in, and there were 2 people that had their cameras on and they were talking. And unfortunately, within 2 minutes, one left and the other one said, yeah, I think I'm going to leave too. And well, what's the point of sitting there with people who don't have the cameras and the microphones on? And that included me. None of us were talking. Well, what's the point of being here if there's nobody? But look, Beth, Steph does say you can go in and work. You don't have to talk. Cover up your camera and don't turn your microphone on and just hang out, have fun, and you can. And it's such a friendly atmosphere. You do start talking to some people. Like, I mean, I talk to designers, and sometimes you see a designer that you might want to fangirl or something, and you could end up with a designer in the speed dating because they go into that too, and so does Steph. I'm sorry, Steph. It's not that I don't like your name. You have a beautiful name. It's just Little Women. I don't know. Well, I think that's it. I'm gonna have to watch this and see if it comes out okay and see if I can upload it and have it make sense. And if it does, I will see you next week. And if everything works out well, I'd like to upload on Wednesday. So if you enjoyed this, if you think you'd like to see more, and I do have more, uh, hit like, please. Hit subscribe. I would really love it if you would comment. And, did you go to the Jingle Ball? What fabric do you like to stitch on? What kind of projects do you like to do? Are you a seasonal stitcher? I'm not. I'll stitch whatever I want, whenever I want, on whatever fabric I want, using whatever colors I want, because it's mine. But I also do keep in mind that I fell in love with the piece because of the way the designer did it, so we don't want to totally change everything. But tell me how you stitch. Tell me what you enjoy. If there's something else you want to know, if you have some suggestions, that's great. Um, you're the only people I have to talk to about cross stitch. There's no one in my family that does cross stitch or quilting, sewing, nothing. I have one granddaughter who does jewelry making, and she's 9 years, 10 years old, somewhere around there. Anyway, she uses beads and she makes little bracelets and stuff. Um, I'm not into that, so I have nobody to talk to about cross stitch. So please like, subscribe, and talk to me. I would love to get to know you. And hopefully, this will be a long, long project. Meanwhile, stay warm and check your smoke detectors. Bye.